Hello. I did say that I would do a little lockdown diary update, so here it is. Yes. So how are you? You all okay? I'm fine. I think I'm adapting quite well, if I'm being honest. I mean, it's I talked to some of the ladies in the club and they're all crumbling. But I think I'm doing okay. It's a little bit quieter now that hubby's gone. I don't know where he's gone. I think he left about 3 weeks ago now. But it's fine. It's fine. And Tommy's doing great, and Matilda's fine as well, but I mean, it's okay.
Mom?
Yeah, so other than that, I'm...
Mom! Mom! Mom!
What?
Mom, I'm hungry!
What do you want? What?
What's for breakfast?
Well, just get a bloody pot noodle from the cupboard! Oh, God. What's that? And give those to your brother! Yeah, so it's all sod off. So it's all going really quite splendid. But anyway, as promised, I'll touch base with you soon, yeah? See how you're all getting on. Okay, bye! Bye.
Here. Yeah, it's me. Fergus Johnson, yeah? Well, I've discovered the cure, haven't I? For COVID-19. The Chinese government already know about this. They're just not telling anyone. But the clues are all there. For anyone with half a brain to work out. It's all there. What do you get if you have COVID-19? You get a fever. And a fever is hot. A fever is hot, right? So it stands to reason. You need to cool the fever right down. In other countries, they're already doing this. They're just opening the doors, walking into the nearest snowbank, doing a few snow angels, and that's it, they're cured. Doesn't work round here. Tried walking into the walk-in freezers at the back of Iceland. They don't like you doing that. Bad idea. So, the thing is, I know what you're thinking. I know, there's plenty of cranks on the internet with their opinions. But I've looked into this with a fine-tooth comb. I have done my research, right? There is not a single case of COVID-19 in Antarctica. See? You see? But what's that mean? What's that mean to your average hard-working Britain? We've been left out to dry. By the government, by the world, it's all a conspiracy. No, it's not even just a conspiracy. This is an act of war. Because the thing is, look at it. Just look at it. We have just had 2 bank holidays. And it's been sunny each time. But we all know that's not natural. We all know it. We're not that stupid. They are manipulating the weather. Alright. Our enemies are manipulating the weather. It's no joke, but they can't get me. Nah, I'm too clever for that. My underpants are full of frozen peas. Yeah. I know. You hear that? You hear that? You're not going to get me. You weather manipulating bastards.
We received an invitation in the post one Monday morn. It came to all from Boris asking us to stay at home. The reason was a virus that had started in Wuhan. The news, the net, the papers told us how it all began. Covid, Covid, impossible to see, but you are now the headline of 2020. Fiddly-fied and fied and fied and fi. Well, we kept on buying prezzies, turkey, chocolate, fags and booze, although we saw the state of Covid China in the news. We decided our Christmas was nearer than this bug, but a virus is a virus and by golly this one's tough. Covid, Covid, impossible to see. We really should be testing more and buying PPE. Fiddly-fied and fied and fied and fi. Well, we all saw in the new year with some booze and much disdain, but then it came to Europe and the skiers got the blame, and it only needed one man to travel far and wide, to set the wheels in motion for the nation to decline. Covid, Covid, you're only just 19, but you are now the cause of all disruption we have seen. Fiddly-fied and fied and fied and fi. At last the lockdown started with all of the restrictions. We'd read the reams of guidelines, the stay-at-home conditions. And then began the madness of purchasing on plastic. I'll stockpile now, think of myself, this panic buying's drastic. Nurses, doctors, 10 hours in PPE, but then they see the empty shelves, they can't buy out for tea. Fiddly-fied and fied and fied and fi. Now I don't know if you've tried 10 hours gowned and in a mask. The procedure to get out of them is really quite a task. The blisters round your mouth and bruising from a mask that's tight. A 10-hour shift in ICU, you look a sorry sight. Covid, Covid, we're sorry now you see. We didn't social distance, isolate and all take heed. Heckety, 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 heck, heck, heck. There are some who did the house up and the garden's looking fine. The weather's good, the Barbie's out, there's lots of beer and wine. Parents teaching children show support with Thursday clapping. And veterans who like Tom Moore raise money garden lapping. Rainbows stay home, I think you must agree. The workers of the NHS need our support, you see. We get by with online theatre, online courses and the like. Get fit with one-day outings, you can either walk or bike. And we've all got into Zooming for a chat or for a quiz. And my old mum's becoming quite a techno-savvy whiz. Wash hands, wash hands, wash hands, soap, soap, wash, soap, wash, soap, wash, hands. Sad verses. There are some who raided food banks or raised their prices high. The furloughed staff, the self-employed, all struggled to survive. The sufferers of violence, abuse, neglect, locked in, depression and anxiety, just how do we begin to justify football wages, BA bosses, take your pick. Richard Branson suing NHS, it really makes you sick. Corporate greed share prices, contrast them if you will. Inequality, refugee, the homeless are there still. Covid, Covid, we're beginning now to see. There's givers and there's takers. Know which one I'd rather be.
Hello there, Wilhelmina Ponsonby Smythe here. I say, isn't it all simply awful at the moment? I mean, do you know what this is? Jacob's Creek. Oh, Pinot Grigio. I might as well just cover myself in rags and be done with it. Do you you know we've had to order our own online shopping, and Waitrose was completely out of olives. I mean to say, it's like living in Soviet Russia. Anyway, it's the pater I feel so terribly sorry for, the poor old chap. I mean, he tried everything, you know, to get some sort of licence to get all the gang together and everything, but there was just naught to be done. No one would give him one at all. Social distancing, they said. Fresh air and exercise, he said, but no, they just wouldn't listen. I mean, he's tried to make the best of things, of course, as you do, but he's only allowed to go over our own grounds. We've hardly got any acreage at all. And it just isn't right, you know, a man of his age, trotting over the ornamental borders with the coconut in one hand. I mean, it's just not fair, is it? I mean, he dressed up, you know, he put on all of his good togs, but it just isn't the same. He even shouts "View halloo" as he uses his 2 coconut halves, but it just isn't right, is it? Mind you, I said to him, I said, the thing is, Peter, we all have to do our bit and put up with a certain amount of suffering. I mean, do you know, I haven't seen my manicurist in months. I know it's atrocious. But, as we say, we all have to have a stiff upper lip. We all have our crosses to bear, do we not? Cheerio.
Hello. Hello. I thought that I'd just take the opportunity to do a lockdown diary. Yes. Is it a lot of the other ladies at the club, they're doing it, and I thought it would be quite nice, you know, to look back on in the future. I mean, I must admit it's pleasurable to spend so much time with my little cherubs. You know, they really are, they're so bright. And so, yes, I'm very, very much looking forward to it. And it's so lovely to have their daddy home. I mean, normally he's away on business quite a lot. He's got a very important job. But yes, it's really quite lovely to have him home, and the time that he's spending with the children. I mean, it really is quality. Sorry, darling? Oh, you're hungry? Oh, okay. Well, what would you like for lunch? A cucumber sandwich? Oh, I can do that for you, darling. And a little carrot on the side, maybe, and an apple? That's absolutely fine. No, you can't have any sugary foods, darling. They're just not good for you. They're not good for your teeth. Yes. Okay, well, Mummy's just having a little chat on the phone, so just bear with me and I'll be right with you. Such clever children. I mean, look at what my Tommy made. Let me show you this. Look at that. I mean, it's a saltwater engine car. I mean, the boy's a genius. It runs and everything. I mean, he really is a pleasure. And Matilda, yes, she's still having her online piano lessons. I mean, it's crucial, isn't it? It's absolutely crucial that you keep those kind of skills going, you know, in times like this. So her piano teacher calls in on a Friday at 3:00, and they spend really quality time, and she goes through her scales. I mean, it's just a delight. Anyway, I best go and get their lunch, so I'll touch base with you soon and let you know how I'm getting on. Okay, bye-bye. Bye.
I was sitting here the other night, as you do, waiting for my balls to drop. Once again, somebody else has dropped instead of mine. Bloody lottery makes you sick. I mean, it's not as if I need the money for anything trivial. I was born idiot, you see. I was born the very double of Brad Pitt. And who wants to be a pretty boy like him in the valleys, eh? I said to my mother, I said, where did these looks come from? I mean, here I am, blonde and with this awful defined jaw, and here's my father, black hair and more chins and a Chinese phone book. I asked her, I did. I asked her, why me? Do you know what she said? Well, I tell you then, shall I? She said, get over yourself, Effan. You could be in the movies with looks like yours. I mean, it's not as if I can walk down the streets these days without people whistling at me. I mean, thank God it's just the women. But I tell you this, I went to church the other day and asked my vicar to say a few prayers for me. He always wanted me in his choir. I sounded like Alec Jones, I did, and now he says when I sing in the pew that I sound like Michael Ball. What a cheek. Here is my dilemma. Every time I leave the house, there are hordes of women standing outside and screaming, so I am very grateful for this pandemic, I am, because social distancing has given me a break from all the noise and the grabbing at me. I mean, it's not right, is it? It's not my fault I was born this ugly. Who needs a face like Brad Pitt anyways, not me. What? If I could, I'd have been born looking like anyone of my choice. It would have been that Pogues fella, you know, that hunky guy. Oh, what's his name? Yes, Shane McGowan. Or maybe that other hottie, Michael Gove. But not bloody Brad Pitt. Life is so unfair.
Anyway, really, it's the pater I feel most sorry for. Poor old chap. I mean, he got... Hello there, Wilhelmina Ponsonby Smythe here. I say, isn't it simply awful, this terrible situation we're all in? Do you know what this is? Do you think Rob Littler would accept outtakes? Take two. I mean, do you know what this is? Pinot Grigio. No, start again. That didn't work at all. Would agree. Social distancing, they said. Fresh air and exercise, he said, but they wouldn't listen. No, poor chap. He was incredibly downhearted. Start again. Right. Season might be completely over. But I said, Pater, the thing is we all have our crosses to bear at the moment. Do you know I haven't seen my manicurist in months? I know it's terrible. You do know that's not even our next door neighbours, they're over there. I know. The other side of the acreage, and still it carries. Maybe not with that. We'll just wait for take 5, shall we, chaps? Are we recording? It's recording, you know. What take are we on again? Take 4. Take 4. Right, quickly. Why, there's minor silence. I mean, I love the way we think music is minor silence, but there we go. Take whatever number this is. I don't know anymore. I've drank a lot of wine. I swear, Laurence Olivier never had to work in these conditions. I am producing high art on a low budget. And there's only this much wine left.